Hi guys, welcome back for another video in the taping series. First of all, I'd like to thank our sponsors, MaxiPass Sports Tape, for helping out. Couldn't do it without you guys. I'd also like to thank AdelaideSports&Ortho Physio. We're also really lucky to be joined by Alice Gregory, so thanks for helping out, Alice. Alice is a current Adelaide Uni rugby player and plays for the Adelaide Roamers in the Sevens Cup, and is also an Aussie development squad player. So thanks, Alice. Today we're going to go through some finger taping techniques and teach some little modifications, and yeah, we'll go from there. So this taping technique's basically going to be for IP joint sprain. Doesn't really matter which interphalangeal joint of the fingers, but basically to try and block it extending too far. So after a bit of a sprain. So we're going to start distally. We're going to do a bit of a crossover, coming down proximally. Do one loop, not putting too much tension on, otherwise it's going to cut off circulation. Come back up, cross over distally, one loop, and then we're going to cross back under again, and then do another loop there, and finishing up locking off distally like so. So as you can see there, makes it a bit harder, blocks that finger a little bit there into extension, and yeah, shouldn't really restrict too much movement of the finger either. Alright, so we're going to do this finger for a technique to try and block it extending back too much. It's pretty common to get finger sprains playing contact sports. So we'll start distally and do one loop around, not making it too tight, okay, and then really try and see if we can get that crossover, getting the pressure. And then one loop around like so. So basically we've just got a nice little cross under there, which will help block that finger. Okay. You can also do the same by putting EAB underneath and then doing it on top, just to give it a little bit of extra support. Okay, now the other variation we can do on that finger taping is to apply a little bit of tape to the finger. So we'll do exactly the same joint this time, remembering that the same technique can be applied to both joints. Okay, you can apply 1 or 2 strips of tape to that finger. And then using 12.5mm tape, you can lock off around either end. Again, make sure it's not too tight. There. That's just a nice, easy, simple way to tape it. If you're really struggling getting a crisscross pattern going, again, might come looser a bit quicker. You can lock that off with a bit of EAB over top if you want, or you can do the EAB underneath, which is the next one we're going to show you. So what to do with a finger that's just been sprained? So really simple technique. We're going to use some non-adhesive hand tearable bandage, or Coban is one of the brands of it. Okay, now you don't actually need to get too much of it. You can rip it with your hands, okay, or if you want to get a little bit of a cleaner cut, then you can use scissors to cut it, okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get Alice to hold her finger there, okay, and then we're going to pull it up and we're going to stick it directly onto itself. Okay, now you want it nice and snug. You basically want it to be like a compression bandage for that finger. Okay, and then you just wrap it down like that. Okay, so that will effectively be acting like a bit of super grip. Alice can continue to do some gentle range exercises with her finger. Okay, you can snip that off a little bit if you want, but not too much, otherwise it will pop and come undone. And the beauty is that because it doesn't stick, Alice can take it off at any point to wash her hand. So then simply goes back on there, like so. Stick it back together on itself, like that, and it's reusable. Okay, a little bit of compression for the finger. Alright, so the piggy and the blanket type of taping, which is essentially the same but just a little bit of extra support with the EAB over top. So just apply, 1 or 2 layers of the EAB over top of the finger. Now we're using 75 here, you can use 50mm if you want and just make it one joint. Cut that off at the back. So this just makes things a little bit more heavy duty. And then you're going to tape it up in the same manner that we did previously. So starting proximally there and then working with the crossover. Not too much pressure around when you're doing right around the joint, and you can do 1 or 2 layers around. We'll do 2 again. And then just locking off and always trying to finish on the outside of your tape there. And that will be a little bit more heavy duty and we'll stop a little bit of extra movement, but most importantly we'll block that a little bit more, so it'll be a little bit more stable.